Let's go. Let's go. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining me tonight. Okay, so I'm live. I got the Instagram going as well. So, like I was saying, I like to thank everybody taking the time out their night and joining me. Hopefully, I got this going right on all platforms. I am Jug. This is Real Bread League, Real Bread Life with Real Bread Logistics. What we want to do here is share all things that have to do with independent bread route ownership and vending in any and all capacities. If you are a vendor or a small business owner in this space, you can email us. You can message us on any of the other platforms, and we will help you out best as we can. As far as the information, it's a shared information. We don't have all the answers, but as a collective, we have a lot of answers. So we encourage anybody and everybody in the space to join us whenever we have a live or in any of the groups. You can find us online, The Real Bread Life, at on Facebook. That is the group name. It is Real Bread Life, and you could join the Facebook group. Please take the time out and check it out. And when you have something to share, just put it in the group. So it's just a community of bread vendors, independent bread operators, and anyone in the space. Again, we don't have anything except for be respectful and courteous to those that are in the group. And we don't do political, we don't do religion. And this space is just for those that want to learn and those that want to share with those that want to learn. And if you have something positive to share, we encourage you to do so. If you have a viewpoint that is in contrast to anything that we're talking about, that's fine as well. So that's what we're here for. So let me turn comments on. Los, what's going on, good brother? Glad to see you here. Justin, what's going on, man? Good to see you, man. Haven't heard from you in a minute. So I don't know what's going on with the Martin's bread, and I don't even know what you're asking me. So just give me a little bit more clarity on that, and then we'll go from there. As far as what's going on with the Martin's bread, talk to me. What's your question? Because I definitely have my Martin's guy that I rock with out in my area, and I will ask him, if whatever the question is that you have about the Martin's bread. So just let me know, my brother, and we'll go from there. Oh, okay. So in Colorado, Martin's is now in Walmart. Yeah, that's in all stores out our way. In the Northeast over here, Martin's is everywhere. It's a very big product. So what you said, nobody's delivering it. Okay, so that's interesting to hear that Walmart has made it over there to Colorado. I mean, Martin's Bread has made it over there to Colorado, because that's based over here in the Northeast. And what you're telling me is that they're shipping it and the stores are putting it up on their own. So that's dope. That's dope. I mean, hey, what's going on? So for it to be getting shipped over there, that's interesting, because my guy that I rock with didn't tell me anything about that. So but that's the same thing that's going on over here. So for instance, how we always have this discussion about them taking the cakes from you guys as far as the flours, and they're putting it in the stores. That's the same thing that's going on with the Martins I'm seeing. Hold on a second. So it's interesting, and like I said, I'm going to look into that and do a little bit more homework on that. Yeah. That is one of the things. I don't know if you remember last year when we were up here, we were talking about that. That's the route. Even with Beambo, they're still trying to figure out how to acquire some routes and put everything on the trucks. They're trying to figure out how to get that done. As far as with us, the Takis, they're already direct shipping them because the company brings them in. So Martin's is a big product, a very big product. They're changing your commission. Hold on. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I had hit the button on IG. I had to click it one more time. So now I think I should be live. Nisi, let me know if you see that up there. So talk to me. What's going on? You said they're changing your percentages on everything as a whole, or just on certain products? Okay. Talk to me. Okay. So one of the things that sandwich bread is going to go from 20 to 17.5. Dave's Killer Bread is going to go from 18 to 20. So down on one, up on another. So it's kind of like a little bit of a wash, if I'm reading that correctly, right? If you want, just I could put the link in if you in a position to talk. If you want to come on the screen, I could put you in. Sorry, I meant to say 20 is sandwich bread, like I wonder round top. The honey wheat and the butter bread is changing. Okay. Yeah, so we've had those changes over the last year where we saw the increase. And I don't know, we saw the increase in price, which again would mean an increase in, the return for us. So I don't know how the split is going to work. I haven't seen any changes for us. So as a company, that might be just something that's going on with you guys. What I'm going to do, just in case, for you, I put the link right there for you, just if you want to jump in, and I'll get you on so you could break it down for me a little bit, or for us or anybody else who's listening, because that's very, very interesting. Because like I said, I'm out there with the guy that does the flowers in our area, and we don't talk that often. But I mean, not that we don't talk, but we don't really talk business that often. So I'm curious to know if that's something that's going on just in your region or over here as well, because that changes things a lot. And for those that don't know, and when we start talking about these percentages, and even though it's 2% multiplied thousands of times or hundreds of times is a lot of money over the year and over a few years. So that's what we need to take into account when we start talking about these percentages jumping and changing in those ways. So I just like to be clear and have clarity myself, because when you start talking about the direct ship of other products, which I know we had that discussion, which I talked about a minute ago with the cakes a few months back, and now you're talking about losing money on your bread. That's that shift. And when you see that direct ship coming with the Martin's bread, we've been talking about these companies working on squeezing out the independent operator. Direct ship is what they're all trying to do, and it's the route they're all trying to go. Um, one of the problems, I'm not going to say it's a problem, but one of the reasons that in our company doing that we work with, they're having trouble is because some of the longtime vendors are really resistant to the change. But I see that shift may be coming. Hold on a second. What's going on? How you, Just?
Can you hear me okay?
Hear you just fine, man. Coming in really clear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's we just had like a town hall meeting, long story short, and it's for our district, but a lot of times what happens on the East Coast, it trickles this direction. So I'd be curious to see what I think it what was his name, Clinton, South Carolina. I'd be very curious if they got the same messaging.
Yeah, Clinton down in North Carolina or South Carolina. Yeah, I would love to talk to him and get his perspective because, like I said, that would let us know region wise what it is. You know, if it's just something with you in the Midwest, or if it's company wide, regardless. You know.
Right, because it is like you were saying, it is a wash if the percentages change, but there's a catch. The Dave's Killer Bread in the South, like Clint has told us, it's kind of dead because it's a sandwich market down there. Um, Here, it's more organic, and like Northeast, it's heavy on the organic. So that can make it a little tricky regionally. But I think most people, their distribution check on a week to week basis shouldn't change that much.
Okay. Yeah. See that like I said, it's just interesting to hear the shift like that when they already took the cake from you guys.
Right.
And now, are those the only two products that you know of? Or was
Yeah,
that like an email, or that was just a notice given, or is there more to come?
Not sure if there's more to come. There was like the VP will do like an annual as we get ready to enter into spring, which is a couple months from now, and they'll say, hey, these are the changes that are coming and look forward to this. But it wasn't specific on whether or not it was national, but at least in our regional area, like the Colorados, the Utahs, the New Mexicos, the Arizonas, those changes are coming here pretty quickly. So
okay. So now one of the things I meant to ask you this a while ago. Do you have multiple big box stores, or like the Costco's, the BJ's?
okay, so out here we do have Costco, we do have Sam's Club,
Sam's Club,
BJ's.
yeah.
Yeah, BJ's is not out here. Publix is not out here. But those are the two main box stores. Now we have a store called Restaurant Depot.
Yep. We have those out here. Yes.
Oh, do you? Okay, yeah, and that kind of resembles a big box. I think everything we take in there, or Bimbo takes in there, are all 2-packs.
Right. It's the double packs. It's more like a wholesale. It's a major distribution wholesale stop. Yeah. So okay, so you do have the Restaurant Depot as well.
Right, but it's just those main three. That's all we have out here so far.
What's the grocery store chain out there? Like the main grocery store chain?
Yeah, it's Kroger. It's Kroger.
Kroger.
The name of it's called King Supers, but it's Kroger. It's a Kroger
the parent company.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where all the money is. And Safeways out here are quickly starting to diminish. I had one close on my route. We've had about 10 of them close in the last couple months. I don't know what it is about Safeway. I know it's old, but it's just, I don't know if they're just not keeping up with market trends. But Safeways are slowly fading.
Okay, so yeah, no one's tried to acquire them or try to buy them out.
Well, Kroger tried to do a merger with Safeway, but it didn't fall through. And so consequently, what ended up happening, since the merger didn't fall through, Safeway / Albertsons, that's what they call it out here.
Yep, Albertsons, yep.
Yeah, since it didn't fall through, then Kroger's just doing its own thing now. And so they're building more Krogers. As a matter of fact, I got one coming on my market or my territory here in about the next 3 months. But the Safeways they're closing them left and right, which sucks too, because a lot of those employees, it's union, and a lot of those employees have nowhere to go. or they'll transfer to a different store, but they go from full time to part time. I'm like, yikes.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things. Well, when those mergers or those takeovers happen and they fall through, I guess they ran the numbers, and it would just be better for them to open a new store
Right.
than to merge with them and take on, well, because what happens is it's the property, and you either got to buy it or do a long-term lease. And
Right.
for that, when it comes to big business, they'd rather just set up shop somewhere else.
Right. But yeah, it's Kroger's the main one out here. And of course, we still got Whole Foods, and the Family Dollars are out here. The Targets, Target is kind of a interesting, most people don't go to Target for grocery, but their prices are pretty competitive.
Right. Oh yeah. No, we service, Beanbo's has a lot of people that we service, a lot of the Targets, and they do a lot of good business. Target
Right.
is it's more of an upscale, but they do business in there. Grocery wise, they do business to not be a full service grocery store with like a meat department and everything, but everything else when it comes to the bread, the packaged meats, and the other grocery products, they do really good business.
Right.
They do really good business. It's surprisingly.
Right.
They do really good business. Hold on one second. So Dave, I heard that Flowers is pushing Dave's Killer because they're trying to make revenue on their investment. Yeah, Carlos, said he heard that from some higher ups. And it's true. They paid a lot of money for that Dave's Killer bread. And when you say they want to get their money back, they do. I'm sure they do.
Yep.
It's a big deal. The Dave's Killer is a big deal. So that's where they're kind of focusing. And I couldn't fault them. You know better than me, because that's what you're pushing. Does it really still move? Does it move like that out that way?
Yeah, it still does. I would say here in Denver, Colorado, or Colorado as a whole, and especially in the Washington State area and Oregon, where the Dave's Killer Bread kind of base is located. It moves very well. Now, of course, we have areas, and I think I mentioned this a while back, more of a kind of a low income, or some of like the Hispanic areas out here. They push the sandwich bread a little bit more because there's more families. And so the organic doesn't move as much, but the rest of the kind of highly dense metropolitan areas, the organic bread does very well. And the thing about it is, man, it's on promotion almost every week out here. Right, whether it's the bagels or the breakfast or the thin slice or the regular slice, it's on sale almost every week in almost every store. So it's constantly pushing. I mean, it's almost never on sale.
Right. So at some point every week, one of the Dave's Killer products are on sale, is what you're saying.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's smart marketing. And of course, you want to push your biggest earner all the time. And that's one of the things I think we talked about before, company wise. If all the companies could figure out, instead of trying to say, well, this isn't selling, we gotta promote it and push it more. Sell what's selling, push what's moving, and you can't ignore everything, but you don't want to say we'll get back to what was selling after we push these other items. I mean, just that's the way I look at it. So good for them.
Right. The reason why I brought up the earlier about the Martins is it threw me off guard because I happened to be shopping in Walmart, and naturally you're kind of nosy. You go down the bread aisles in someone's store just to see what's going on. And when I saw the Martins, it threw me off guard because it was about 6 or 7 SKUs. They had the potato rolls and all that. It was already in the set, and I was like, wait a minute. And so I was like, okay, the Bimbo guy's not bringing them. We're not bringing them. And there's no distributors out here through Martin's. So I'm like, okay, this is coming in. And then you kind of look at the product, and it looks like it's being brought in. I don't know if it's brought in frozen or fresh. Not certain, because I didn't ask any of the employees there. But when I saw one kind of stocking some up or putting some up, I was like, I didn't know that was out here.
Yeah, I would say just knowing where you are, say for instance, you're in Colorado, and I
Mhm.
said I know they're based over this way in the Northeast, has to be frozen. Because you know what the
Yeah.
thing is about that? They have a 3-day code. It may be 4.
Mm,
I don't want to get locked into that and someone say I'm lying, but I'm pretty sure they have like a 3 or 4-day code.
okay.
And if it's 5, I mean, it could be, but I know it's very short because the guy that is out there with us and Carlos knows he's rotating that. He's in and out with that bread every 3 days. It does not stay on the shelf, but they
Mm,
sell very well. They sell very
okay.
well.
Yeah, I'd be very curious to hear what he says. Like I said, and this was only about a couple weeks ago, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to bring this up to Jug when I hear from him again, because I thought maybe it was something was changing out there, and
No, no, no. That's very good. Like I said, I love to hear things like that, and I always want people to understand. Just someone hearing us talk about this, they wouldn't understand that Martins is not a normal thing in Colorado.
right,
You know what I mean? And so for
right,
them to reach that far, I'm going to do my research. I'm going to get some information, and I can make a video about it as well. I'm working actually on a bunch of different content, and this is something for me to make a note of. And again, I would love to get my guy up here, but he's just not the camera guy. He's not. It'd be hard pressed for me to get him on camera, but I definitely could get some info from him and report back with some of that. That's
okay,
interesting, man. Very interesting. I appreciate you sharing that with us.
yeah, yeah. I was just very curious about that. But I'm in the process now of trying to get my route put on the market. I have a guy bidding on it. He's just kind of dragging his feet. But I remember you
Mm.
mentioned you were helping someone buy a route, and it took several months.
Oh yeah, no, the process is it's grueling as far as and it's a waiting game, and it's what it is. All right, let me say
Right.
it like this. You know what it was when you bought the route, but
Well,
your process was a little different because you were kind of already there.
right, right.
So
When
I
I
mean,
was
it's a little different the way you went about it. And I remember you sharing that information with us. You know what I mean?
right when I was working as a helper on the route that I purchased, I'll be honest with you, man. It all this went in about a span of 3 weeks because I was moving really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I was moving really fast. I have a guy that I did a ride along back in the last week of October, and he's just now buying a truck. And I'm like, man, like you kind of taking a while, but he's very green, he's very raw, and
Mm.
so he's brand spanking new to the bread business, the vendor business. He has a little bit of grocery experience and some business acumen because he's had his own business, but it's kind of taking a while, and it's kind of moving a little slow for me because as bread guys, we walk fast, we move fast, we move with sense of purpose and urgency. And I'm like, dude, right? It's like, come on, man, So I'm trying to help them as much as I can, but you can only make so many concessions for people. At some point, it's like, okay, do you want to buy the route or you don't?
Right. No, no, no. Because if you're at the place where you're trying to sell,
Hmm.
you're not trying to wait around for one person. You know what
Right,
I mean? So
right,
that's the thing. And I understand it. And we know what it is. So you kind of can answer questions and you can give him what he wants as far as information. But at some point, either pull the trigger or not,
right, right. And so, I'm helping him out. Like I said, if there was any other bidder on the route, I'd probably move on. But he's almost at the very end. Now, here's the weird part here, and I don't know how you guys do it, but because he is so green, they wanted me to train him for about a couple weeks. In other words, they didn't want him to close on the route and just go out there blind, which, okay, I kind of understand that. The problem is I'm not getting paid to train, and neither is he. He ain't getting paid for it either. Right, right. But the other part of it is after the training's up, they want one of the territory managers to do like a ride verification. I'm like, for what? To see if he knows how to put bread on the show? I was like, man, this sounds like a lot of extra stuff just to get this route sold. They're like, well, once the managers do a ride along, we verify that, you know, you can run the route, then we'll give you a closing date. I'm like, this seems a little, let me look at my contract, because I think y'all just making stuff up.
So
because out here, not to interrupt, but out here with Pepperidge Farm, you close on the route first, and a territory manager rides with you for the first couple weeks, and then they let you go. Out here, they make the seller do training if needed. But because this guy, like I said, he's so green, he's so raw, he needs training, because you need to know how to use the handheld and all that stuff. And then after that, the manager does a verification ride where he's in his own vehicle, and then we get a closing date. And I'm like, boy, that sounds like a lot of extra stuff here. But we're at the point where he has to do a verification ride. He's just having truck issues. So,
yeah,
but it sounds like a lot of steps here.
Right. Over here, and well, as far as I know, for when dealing with Beanbo, you just you would contact the seller yourself. You tell them you want to ride with them. You go along with them, and what happens is the company would check to see that you understand what you're doing. That's the biggest thing. If you're green, they want to be sure that you put this money up and you jump in, that you understand what you're getting into, so to say. And if you're not there, then they may have some questions. But I think some of the more recent things that have happened, they may try to rethink how easily they're letting routes change hands or transition. Because, you know, we recently had the guy come in and then jump out. So hold on right now. You asked for your guy. Look at him. You asked for him.
What's up, man?
You must have heard your name, huh?
You know what? I wanted to get on here. I wanted to talk to you too, man. What's up, J Moore?
Hey, down.
Hey, man. Hey, what's up, Jude? What's up, man? How you been, man?
How you been, Clint?
Same old, man. Sitting in the bathroom, man. Same old, man.
Had to find a spot.
Had to find a spot, man. We just got back from football All-Stars. Now we in basketball now. So I mean, we just got back from practice. So I'm back in the house, about to get ready to get into bed. But yeah, man. You know I know Jay. I missed 28 minutes you've been live. I missed all the beginning of it.
We were talking, Jay Moore, basically how he ended up jumping on. I sent the link is because he was in the comments saying how he noticed the Martin's bread in his area.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're direct shipping it. Have you seen it in the stores down there as well? The potato bread?
I have. It's in our Walmarts. It's direct ship. It's comes through frozen.
Okay.
It's in the refrigerated. I guess it's where the Ezekiel stuff is now, but I'm thinking they're going to move it to the shelves. But I mean,
okay, so that's how we started, and then he was giving us the information about you guys' company changing percentages on the Dave's Killer Bread.
Oh yeah,
and some of the other products. So he was just saying he was interested to hear your perspective on if it was down near the same thing, and I said that's great. So for me, I'll leave you two on the screen, and I'm gonna.
Our meeting. How'd your meeting go yesterday? How did the meeting? They had the Midwest, right? You're in the Midwest, right? So
they had an online town hall. I didn't. I wasn't a part of it because I was a little bit busy.
Okay.
But one of the main points was the changing of the percentages of the 20-ounce bread and the Dave's Killer Bread. Now, I didn't get anything else about the cake. I didn't hear anything about that, but because I'm in the process, just like I was telling Jug, of actually selling. Yeah, I'm actually going to be selling my route, but I wanted to know what was happening.
Yeah,
and so I was like,
Dave's Killer went up 2%. So we're getting 2% more on Dave's Killer. We're getting 2% more on Tasty Cake. Well, I think it's either 1 or 2%, but we're losing percentage on all class 1 and class 7. So we're losing like all white bread, anything white, we're losing like 2.5%.
Mm, okay.
So we're losing percentage on 1 and 7. 7 is like Chick-fil-A's, Burger King's, any of your branded, like the store, like Zaxby's or any flour items we actually gain a percentage on. Anything that we sell of flowers, flour buns or flowers, this, flowers, that. Anything we sell of the customers, which the restaurant customers, we're losing percentage on that. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I want to ask Julie. Hey,
Talk
buddy.
to me.
Hey,
What's going on?
hey. So I saw something that caught my attention. Now, tell me this. So, did you know this? I'm like, wow, that's really bold of Grupo Bimbo. Do you know right now, Grupo Bimbo has a lawsuit against Trump's administration right now?
I did not know that.
Oh my God. I said, hold on. Is your email the same? And oh man, I was like, wow. I'm going to send you a link of this lawsuit.
Are they fighting for us? Are they doing something? Is this for us
No,
or is it for them?
big. It's going to go up to the Supreme Court. It started in December. Well, they said late 2025. So Grupo Bimbo is suing the Trump administration over tariffs.
Okay, I think you had said something about that a few months back. Did you?
No, not me. I didn't say that.
What was it? Well, oh no, it was a different lawsuit.
It was
you had
different.
given me information
Yeah.
about it. This was a different lawsuit.
No, this was a different country. This was the Maple Leaf thing. They're suing Canada.
Okay, no,
so
I remember.
Canada, they're fighting Grupo Bimbo in Canada. I'm like, dog. I mean, but I'm like, so I thought maybe you might have heard. I'm gonna, I can't really get out.
And you know what it is? I don't. And there's management that I'm close with that I talk to on the regular, and we have great relationships. But those things I've never discussed with them, and I think they kind of don't discuss them with me on purpose. if that makes any sense. Now, the other part of that is I'm not always checking company business because a lot of it is probably public information.
Yeah.
That I don't dig into. And I think somewhere with me having the mentality of, and it's funny you just said that, I'm always like, we don't do politics, we don't do religion. But when it comes to business, that's part of us. So it's kind of a gray area where we're not talking about Republican, Democrat, and things of that nature.
This is
so
business.
I need to know
that. This lawsuit can affect both companies.
Right.
It can affect, that's kind of
standard because they do precedent when it's law.
Yes.
So someone wins a lawsuit on a precedent. Now that becomes the standard that other companies can fight on and kind of build their stance with. And I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So I'm like,
that's a very, very interesting thing for me to get the information on. And again, like I said, I know there's people that I rock with in certain ways that I would like to know. And even funnier, some of them watch. So
that affects the shareholders. That affects every I mean,
that was the other thing, and I think we had that conversation when it came to the stocks and the shareholders because it's a out of country company.
Yes,
we can't just invest. You have to create a whole different investment portfolio even invest in Bimbo from the States.
Yeah, I tried to invest, but they won't. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know how.
Conversation, and we didn't. We were supposed to be getting together to figure out how we could do it.
Yeah, but they won't.
The bread isn't going anywhere.
No, it's not. It's not.
That's something we could get together and do as a collective. And I know there's other people that are like-minded as us and would be down for that. So, you know what I mean? That's still. I don't want to put that off the table.
I got you.
But we'll chop that up offline.
Just another way to save your money.
Figure it out is something we could share with the people.
Yeah. Another way to save your money, put your money, I mean, you get more interest, you know what I mean, from, stocks than you will, a savings account or, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
It'll
we
work a little
know
bit more.
that. And
Yeah.
the not I'm gonna say average, but there's a large percentage, I'll say, of people that still assume regular banks are the way to go.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
we know the return on the
Yeah.
investment is the best way.
Mm.
And what we know as far as what I was taught from investing is invest in what you use. And
Mm.
we all use
Fair.
this bread thing to eat.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's the best place to put the money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? As long as I know if I'm humping it around, moving it, it's
Yeah.
gonna be there. And
Oh
we
yeah.
know there's thousands of people doing it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I thought maybe you've heard about that. What did you hear just on your side on what's going on?
nothing at all. I would not even
I'll
mislead you and
send
say
you.
I have.
I'll send you the I'll email you that
Please
news
do.
clip. I'll do that. I just can't do it now because if I get out, then I'll be out of the
No. Do that, and I'm gonna put my email up
Okay, I
so
got you.
anyone else could see it. And again, like I always say, anyone has information they want to share, anyone has a question. If you watch this back and you have a question for either Clint or Justin, he's in Colorado, he's in the Carolinas, it's the Midwest, it's the South. I'm in the Northeast. We have people in Canada and some people all the way far west. So, just if you have a question, let us know. And I appreciate you guys taking the time out and coming on. As very big for me, especially to see a bunch of brothers up here like that. That's dope. You know what I mean? Good to
Yeah.
see you, Clint.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just been busy. I went back and look at some of the playbacks. I'm like, man, Jug let me in this studio with all that noise I had in the background at the little jump spot. I was like, I'm sorry about that, man. I was like,
No,
God, that
but
just messes with the student, messes with the
no.
playtime in the studio.
Well, see, you're missing the point. You were there. You
Yeah,
were there.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so what happens is this is still early.
I
We'll
got you.
look back on this.
Yeah,
We keep breathing and keep doing what we're doing. We'll look back on this when we're further down the line as a collective and in anything that we do when we're
yeah,
not busy doing the breath. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
those things are valuable to me, man. I love that. That's dope, man.
man.
What I've learned is everything matters and it all counts. And I go back and look and I could take pieces of that
Yeah,
information that you shared and it's
mm,
valuable.
I
It's
got you.
all valuable, man. So now that's why I said, oh, you got a good spot right now. But you're in the back room.
I'm in the bathroom. Yeah. I'm downstairs in the bathroom. I said, yeah, my wife up there, she's teaching my son and they get a little carried away. So I said, let me go in here and
And
teach the
that's
class.
why, again, I say thank you because I know what it is. We
Yeah.
had practice yesterday. We got a game on Saturday. I'm
We
going
got
to
one
get off
too.
of here and I'm going to go do some things. I got work to do. So it's a never ending process. And I appreciate you taking the time, good brother.
No
Good to
problem.
see you, man. I'll let
Yes,
you
sir.
get to it. We
Okay.
back every week. You got a minute, you got a few minutes, you jump in and I'll take it, man. I'll
Yes,
take it.
sir.
I appreciate it. Be safe.
Okay.
Peace,
All right.
peace.
Peace.
Yeah, man. So that was good for me right there. I appreciate Justin and Clinton taking the time out and joining us and sharing that information with the people. That's dope. That's really good for me, man. And it feels good to see them brothers. Like I said, for those that don't know, they are independent operators. They have Flowers bread routes. Like I said, Justin is in Colorado, Clinton's down south in the Carolinas. We up here are in the Northeast. I really, really, really hope that information was helpful to those that needed it and you got something out of it. I am Jug. This is Real Bread League. We live a real bread life using real bread logistics. Every Thursday, we will be right here. YouTube, Real Bread League. Instagram, Real Bread League. TikTok, Real Bread League. And the Facebook is Real Bread Life. And the Facebook group is Real Bread Life. If you're looking to get on the website, it's Real Bread League, Real Bread Life, and RBL Jug. Any of those will bring you to the RBL website. Okay. So I think that's it. Appreciate my man for jumping in. Los, thank you so much. Appreciate your engagement, man. Means a lot to me. All right. Because I know you got family and life and things like that you got to get back to as well. I think that's about it. So with that being said, that's all I got for now. Stay blessed and keep stacking. See you next week.